Let's go. Three-time All-Pro linebacker for the Chargers and the Bills. Founder of Lights Out Extreme Fighting, Shawne Merriman. We have football tonight, sure, but Lights Out 28. Let's talk about it. We've got it coming up very soon, November 1st. The card is Stackif. Tell me all about it.
Yeah, we got a huge fight November 1st in Long Beach, California. We'll be live on Lights Out Extreme Fighting. Also, we'll be showing a UFC Fight Pass and football and a couple other platforms. But yeah, this fight we got, Kate, coming up is crazy. Grant Neal, actually, who's in the main event here, he got a call by the UFC, I think, some months ago to step in and fight, and that didn't happen. So he came to fight for us, which is a great thing. Cole Lauren is another one on this card that's standing next to Ronaldo there. We got into a multi-fight deal. He's gone to the UFC after. We got Drake Flores from this card. So we're stacked up. And, the fun thing about us is seeing these guys go off to the UFC. We had a couple to go to Dana White Contender Series over the past 30 days. We have 4 guys in the UFC, Dana's Contender Series. So it's good to see these guys, kind of grow up, to start with you and then go on to get what they're looking for.
Love that. And that's live from Thunder Studios in Long Beach, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Founder of Lights Out Extreme Fighting. You guys can watch that, of course, on Lights Out, which we love. The Chargers started Lights Out. I was there in Sao Paulo. You saw them last week, up close and personal. How do we fix this defense? I'm going to put it to you listen, giving up 380 per game over the last 3, what would you change tonight, hours before this game against Justin Jefferson?
You know what I would say, and I'm not making excuses for him, but Jesse Mitchell is a hell of a defensive coordinator. I mean, his schemes, he get those guys going. He's a great leader. They love playing for him. But they've been banged up. Khalil's been out, and they've had so many guys in and out the lineup. And I think sometimes when you don't have your horses, you try to get creative, right? You start shying away from what you're really good at doing. So they've been a different team these last couple of weeks. By the way, Kate, on both sides of the ball, not just on the defense, but on both sides of the ball. When you got this many people down, this many players down, it forces you to kind of go in your bag a little bit. And sometimes that bag ain't the best bag, because he doesn't have his horses there. So certain things they will run, they just haven't been able to run. And again, I'm not trying to make excuses for him, but what we've seen over the last few weeks with the Chargers and these injuries are unprecedented. You got Rashawn Slater, who goes down before the season starts. He's probably you can probably call him the best tackle, in my opinion, the best offensive tackle in the league. Joe Alt gets moved over to the left side. He goes down with a high ankle sprain. You got both running backs, one down for the year, the other one missed down several weeks. So if you start looking at just the overall of what happened in these last 3 or 4 weeks, it's just been ugly.
Alt's back tonight, I'm seeing. He's expected to be back tonight. How big of a difference can he make?
Huge. But, again, what you're going to have to really look at Joe Alt tonight is when somebody bull rush him and him putting his foot in the ground. That's when you can see his health. Because you can run around, you can cut, you can do certain things. But when you got, somebody that's 250, 60-plus pounds, kind of bull rushing you, and you got to plant that foot in the ground, then you'll realize how healthy you are or not. So I'll be looking at that, his first couple bull rushes, and if he starts to favor that ankle a little bit.
Herbert's been hit a lot. A league leading 62 times, Shawne, this season. There's these pockets that are collapsing, all the pressure. Is there anything else he could be doing that you would want him to see to be able to deal with this? There's nothing.
It's nothing, because I don't care how great of a quarterback you are, you can't throw from your back. I always say that. You can't throw from your back, and it's unfortunate because you know that at some point those hits, they pile you up, right? It doesn't affect him right now. He's a big guy, big, strong guy. He can take the punishment, but over time, if you keep taking these hits, you'll start to get rid of the ball a lot faster. You'll start making bad decisions because you're so used to getting hit that you're trying to make the best decision possible. So I hope that doesn't linger. So they got to figure it out, man. The whole point of beefing up that offensive line before the season was to keep Justin Herbert healthy.
It was. They're sitting there at 4-3, and they started so hot against the Chiefs. Herbert was finishing like crazy, that slide on the field, all this mojo going in their direction. And now I'm just like, man, the Chiefs, are they just going to walk straight to the Super Bowl? That's the question I have on my mind. They look so great. Even if I look at the odds on FanDuel right now, they're even with the Chargers in the AFC West as faves at -125. How worried are you as a Chargers supporter and legend about KC?
Well, what's funny? When the Chargers beat KC, they were without Rice. They were without Xavier Worthy. And people forget, like, as long as you got Patrick Mahomes there, you got a shot. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to be in the running at some point. So when people were kind of hopping on KC early on, like, oh, this is the same team they were before. They're not as dominant. They're not as good. I'm like, they're going to catch their rhythm at some point. And so that's why you hope to not drop some of these games that the Chargers drop, because it's going to matter towards the end of the season, right? And you want to, as far as the deficit you can have against the Chiefs, because you know that they're going to be back in the running at some point. You know, as long as they got their main core guys there, they're going to be in the running.
Do we feel like this is the Chargers team that can go all the way?
Yeah, you know, I still feel that way. I just think that road is gotten a lot rougher because these injuries they've had over the last couple of weeks put a lot of doubt in what this team's going to look like, you know, in the next 30 to 60 days. And I still think they got a shot no matter what because of, you know, Justin Herbert's there. They still got a great coach. They got a great coaching staff. They got Khalil Mack. He came back with a sack last game. So they're starting to get Joe Alt is back now. And I think they're probably going to make a move maybe at the running back position at some point to bring in a little bit of extra depth there. But I still think they got a shot. But that road to get there now is going to be a lot difficult than it was 3-4 weeks ago.
The AFC is kind of funny. I don't know how much faith I have in the AFC being like super, super tough right now. I know Lamar's coming back. I think it's the Chiefs. I don't know, the Broncos and Chargers, like they have some things to prove to me. And then I look at your Bills and I want them to be this like dominant walk right to the AFC Championship game against the Chargers or the Chiefs. And I don't know. And I have a very like complicated thought process on the Bills because I understand their defense isn't as good as it should be. And they made some additions. They're dealing with some injuries. I understand they might not have a bona fide wide receiver room. They didn't last year. And it was still like, and they do have, like you said about Patrick and the Chiefs, as long as you've got Josh Allen, reigning MVP, best player in the league, you have a chance. You have a chance to do it. So I know that they have a chance. But I don't like when we say about Josh, Shawne, that, like, he's all they have. He can't do it all by himself. I don't know if I believe that because they have one of the better running backs and rushing attacks in the league. They have a great dynamo offensive coordinator in Joe Brady. And they've got the same kind of middling defense that they had last year. So I don't know if if I'm a player in the locker room, I'm like, what do you mean you just have Josh?
Yeah, and you do feel a little bit disrespected by that, right, as a player, because it's like, hey, we're on the team, we contribute, right? And the same thing goes with the Bills. And this is the unfortunate part about the Bills. If you look at history, right, in any championship team, you got like this 4-year window where you can be really dominant and you're supposed to win at least one trophy, one championship. And I'm speaking from experience. You know, times we were really good between 2005 to 2010 when we were a really, really good team. You're supposed to get one because we all know what happens. The team breaks up. Coordinators go to different teams, front office, whoever the assistant GM is, he gets a job somewhere with another team. Coaches, head coaches may be on the line to get fired and bring somebody else in. So the team dynamic is going to look different. So my concern with the Bills is that they have to get themselves in position to win one because they're not going to be the same team next year. They just won't. They're going to be, you know, the staff, players, contracts coming up, guys going to go get new big contracts somewhere else. So you don't want that opportunity in that window to pass. And they're still good. You just hope that they don't drop these games they're supposed to win. I
thought you were about to say they missed their window, but you're not saying that.
No, I think this year will be the last year because you got to think too, the Patriots are better. Yeah. Drake May is, you know, he's going to continue to get better
and cheap,
and that division is just going to keep getting better, and it's not for long when they possibly let go Mike McDaniels and really break that team up in Miami, where they're going to be competitors. And so what happens over time is that the teams in that division just get better, and you're not. And so that's what they're going to be up against here in the next couple of years.
If this is their window, and I appreciate you saying that, what do they have to do? Trade deadlines here. They add Bosa. They can't. I mean, their problem right now, they can't stop the run for anything. They're getting about 156 rush yards per game. Chris Sims was on my show Monday. He said Bosa hasn't been that guy for 7 years to be that piece that has to, like, close out the game. What do they do? Do they add something? Do they go get a receiver? Like, what do they do?
I would go beef up that D-line. I mean, I know they came back, you know, it was the Ravens game they came back with, right? You can't go out and score 30-plus points a game. You can never put your offense in that position where you got to go score 30 points in order for you to win the football game. And that's what's been happening. They had to go out and put a bunch of points up in order to have a shot. But that defense, man, you can't allow – everything starts with the run game. And if you can't stop the run, it opens up everything else. If I'm the Bills, I look on the market right now to see who's around, who I can go get and beef up that interior because they can't keep running the ball. And as far as Bosa, he's at this stage of his career. I think the fans and people start getting too tied into a big-name guy.
Got it.
Big-name guys get old, right? Big-name guys get injured. And so it's not that he can't go out and make the big play anymore. He can still do that. It's the consistency level in which you're expecting more from him at this stage of his career. He can still go out and make the big play, and that's all you need him to do. A third long situation, go out and get a sack or a strip sack, fumble, whatever it is. He can still do that. But if you're expecting, kind of Bosa to be the same as he was, 4 or 5 years ago, he's not. But I would have to make a big move and bring in some interior D linemen because they can't stop the run.
Would you like it if the Raiders were willing to part ways with Maxx Crosby? Can you imagine?
It ain't happening. And look, because I'm friends with Max, and he is Raider through. Like when you think about the Raiders, you think about Maxx Crosby.
Do you think that's smart for him, though? Do you like that for him? Come on.
I don't because I know he's loyal to the organization. I know he's loyal to his teammates. He's never going to jump up and down after a game and say he wants to get traded. I don't think he'll ever go there and request a trade. But just to see what he's doing, what he did in that Patriots game, he was like a one-man wrecking ball.
He's amazing.
And somebody at that position, being that dominant, you hate to see him year in and year out not to have an opportunity to win a championship because you put him on the 49ers. Nick Bosa's down. Put him on the 49ers.
Put him on the Bills.
Right?
Put him on the Bills.
Put him on the Bills. Yeah, put him on the Bills.
Yeah.
Give him an opportunity where he's playing in an organization that gives him an opportunity to win a championship, and he just hasn't had that.
I feel the same way about him as I feel about Miles, as I feel about Cam Jordan. 3 unbelievable elite players who deserve the race towards a ring that maybe I just don't know if they're going to regret not saying trade me. How loyal are teams to them? There is this vibe of like.
Miles got paid, right? Miles got paid,
yeah.
and I think that.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's kind of the risk and reward, and so when you're paying a guy $40+ million, I think that's what he's making, $40+ million a year. You know what's happening in Cleveland. Like, you know exactly what they're about, and you know that they haven't put themselves in contention to win in a long time. So if somebody's offering you that money, you take it, then you really get out of the race of being able to complain about your situation. Now, Max, seriously, I feel bad for him because I know he's a loyal guy. He's a loyal, and he's Raiders through and through. But you got to look at, winning championships at this point. He already got his big contract. Somebody else is going to pay him a big contract. I just hope he can go somewhere and win.
I hope that, too, and I will say this. If the Bengals lose to the Jets somehow, Trey Hendrickson may be available on a 1-year deal to go and fill one of those big holes and really change the future for one of these contenders in the AFC. Shawne, appreciate you always. Everybody, go buy tickets. It's Lights Out 28. It is coming up after Halloween, November 1st. It's going to be one hell of a fight night with a frightening fight card. Thank you, Shawne.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you. Good luck to your Chargers tonight against those Vikings.